We're 3 weeks into this Transamerica Trail, and we've moved into a part of the country that is absolutely gorgeous. Every day we're seeing things that simply blow our minds. In this episode, we're about to see things we never anticipated. Join us now on this spectacular journey. This is our story. This is the Transamerica Trail series. Good morning, guys. We are here in Trinidad, Colorado at the Carpios Ridge Campground. We are quite honestly glad to be getting out of this one. We've not enjoyed this campground. The campground itself is beautiful. The surroundings are fantastic. Just all the other little things. Number one, it cost us $38 to camp here last night, which is roughly double what we've been paying to camp. We get here and they say, well, you have to have a parking pass. They charged us another $10 to park here. So you pay $38 to camp. Now they charge you another $10 to park. The real kicker was when we got to the showers and found out that you've got to have a roll of quarters with you, because if you're not plugging quarters into the shower, it doesn't give you any hot water or any water. So you pay to take a shower. That's one we haven't had to do before. I did have a bit of a panic attack though, because I went in there and sat down in the bathroom and realized that there's no toilet paper coming out of this dispenser. Do I need quarters for toilet paper? Is that how this works? Had a bit of a panic attack there before I figured out that no, you just got to reach up in there and slide the deal over, and it worked. But I did have a panic attack there for a moment because I didn't have any quarters with me and wasn't really sure how that was going to work out. So last night after we got settled and got everything put up, had our dinner, the loveliest people moved in across from us, rolled right up into our driveway like they were coming to see us, then backed up into theirs. And out of like 3 different vehicles rolled the loudest, most obnoxious people I think we've ever camped next to. Wow, it was not nice. And a whole bunch of kids, several tents, and kids as young as like 10, 11, 12, yelling and screaming obscenities at each other. I came all the way over here to talk to you guys this morning because I didn't want there to be 13 MFers in the background while I'm trying to talk to you, because even here it is this morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're up and all the sailor words are flowing. But you know what? Jeep's loaded up. Tiffany's getting the last few things together. We're out of here in 5 minutes and it's all behind us. So we're not going to let that bother us. We're going to put this Carpios Ridge Campground behind us. Don't think we're going to recommend this place, and I don't think we're going to be coming back to this place. But you know what? It served its purpose. We were here for one night. That's what we needed. It was in the exact location that we needed it to be. We're grateful for that. We're thankful that we were able to find something and get in, get a good night's sleep, and get back on the road. That's all that we needed. So one day at a time, right? We wanted to stop and get a few things for Valkyrie. We've been going through the windshield wiper fluid pretty quickly. It looks like the power steering fluid's a little bit low. We just wanted to kind of top things off and make sure everything's exactly where it needs to be before we get out on a trail, out where we're isolated and not where we can get stuff. I also am going to go ahead and break out the faster plate. You can see I've got it set up here, and take that tire pressure down again. Now the sensors inside the Jeep they just don't work properly. They've been telling us that our PSI in these tires are like 40, and that's what's led me to go ahead and check it. But the Jeep says, hey, my tire pressures are at 40. You come out here and you check them and they're at 36. Still 36 is higher than I want them to be, so we'll bump them down to about 33. And then as we continue to go up in elevation and go through the trails and everything, I'll just continue to check them every day or two.
I'm going
if you guys can hear it or not, but there's kind of a whining, humming sound. It almost sounds like an electric motor to me, kind of a wah type of a sound that's coming from the front end of Valkyrie. At first we thought, well, maybe it's a bearing, but a bearing doesn't typically go wah, it goes more like sss. Doesn't seem to be making that sound. The sound is not tied to RPM, so when you rev the engine, like if you're parked and you rev the engine or whatever, you don't hear the sound at all. We only hear it when we're moving. But it seems to be tied to our speed. So if we slow down, we can hear it, and when we speed up, it comes back up. We're at a loss as far as trying to figure out what this is.
And it's getting louder. So obviously something's going on there. Is it critical? Guess we'll find out.
Wow, that is just a spectacular shot. Come around the corner, and here's these two huge mountains right there. Oh, we've moved into a beautiful section of the Transamerica Trail here. We're about, 20 miles north of Trinidad, Colorado. And we've moved into the section here where you can just see the mountains. We're getting some really good clean shots over into the next row of mountains, which is the Rocky Mountains. They still have some snow on them. Fantastic. And then as we come up to an intersection, we found this. I guess that means we're going the right direction, huh? Well, we're out here about 10 miles east of Levada, Colorado, and it's been a very interesting confluence of geologies out here. I mean, we're looking at farmlands, and then it goes into rolling hills, and then it changes into rocky terrain, and then gravelly terrain. We've got all these different hills going, so you've got these rolling, sandy, gravelly type hills that are just covered in trees, and then in the distance you can see the sharp, pointy, granite type of rocky mountains. And then we come across and we start running into these red, rugged mountains that we were seeing when we were in New Mexico. And as we pass all of that, then here's like a what looked like at first like a huge stone wall. But as we kept going, it continued. It was more like a spine that was running along the ridge side there. Very interesting. I mean, it really looked like a wall, like somebody had constructed like a Great Wall of China type of wall, broken down, incomplete, large holes in it obviously, but very, very interesting to see all the different changes in the terrain and the geology out here. It's very, very fascinating. Coming down the road here on the Tat, we've got buffalo, like off in the field here, but one of them looks like he's outside of the gate, like right here by the road. Yeah, the roads the last several miles have not been very good, but the views have been spectacular. We moved into the San Isabel National Forest, and as soon as we did, it's been washboard for the last 10 miles.
Road is donk.
Right there, we got up to like 15 miles an hour. And as soon as we went around the corner, you could probably see all the vibration. We had to just slow it back down. But we've had a real slowdown here in this Colorado track number 2. It's about a 106-mile track, and it's been almost entirely dirt and gravel. I would say that probably 70% of that has been pretty good, but there's been a solid 30% that's not been in good shape for whatever reason. Some washout, a lot of it washboard, yeah. And it's bad enough washboard, it slows us down to maybe 10 miles an hour. Yeah, try not to really plan too much as far as how far you're going to get. But you need to be able to make some kind of estimate so you can try to plan at least a day ahead as far as potential campsites. So because of the roads and the timing of the day and everything today, we ended up not doing the Great Sand Dunes National Park. We were afraid if we did that, we'd probably come rolling into the camping areas that we'd identified late in the evening, probably like 8 o'clock or something like that. So that was not what we were looking to do, and we really weren't sure what the condition of the roads was going to be going ahead. But I think it was the right thing to do to skip the Grand Dunes and go ahead and get over here and try to get into that area where we wanted to camp tonight. But just because now that we've had a chance to see this section, it's beautiful, and a good chunk of the roads are good, but there's, in this back half of Colorado too, there's a lot of roads that really need some maintenance. Now, Boomer's favorite part of this entire trip is being able to bark at the cows. I don't know why that's so much fun, but he absolutely loves that. I think he's fixing to have a good time because we've got about 3 or 4 dozen cows right up here. A few of them are actually on the road, so something tells me he's fixing to wake up from his little nap and get up and start barking at cows. That little dog loves to bark at cows. So we're up to about 10,500 feet. We climbed about 1,000 feet over about 10 minutes, and the temperature dropped almost 15 degrees. And we've got a good solid constant breeze, and it's because we're on the front end of a storm that's coming through. I say all that just to say, I think we're fixing to have a storm here. We've got some cloudy skies rolling in over the mountains, and it's right in the direction that we've got to go. So I guess we're fixing to find out, right?
Well, the map is saying that there's supposed to be a mine here. I think this might be the remnants of what's left of it. Maybe it had collapsed in or intentionally been torn down to kind of keep people out of it. Abandoned mines are really cool, but obviously they're dangerous places too, or they can be, so.
Hey guys, well, we're about 145 miles into the day. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon, which is past the time that we normally like to stop. We'd like to get into the campground about this time if we can. We're going to be a little bit later just because of the way that the campgrounds were laid out and everything. And but here we are. We're about 145 miles into the day. We're going to break off the Transamerica Trail here. We're going to have to go about 5 miles down the road so that we can get to our campground. But, you know, relatively speaking, that's pretty close. Now, we are in a national forest, which means that you can do dispersed camping as you come along dispersed camping sites along the side of the road, and we've seen a few of those. But as we mentioned before, we're kind of saving dispersed camping as one of our last options. We do a lot of that when we travel with the Dirty Bunch Cheap Pup. But when we're traveling by ourselves, we just don't feel comfortable doing a whole lot of that. We can do that, and we will do that if we need to do that, but we don't need to do that tonight. So we're going to pass by these dispersed camping sites that we're finding along the way, and we're going to head down to the campground.
Hey, good morning, guys. We're here at the La Vista Campground on Isabel Lake in the San Isabel National Forest in Colorado. So we rolled in last night, got set up, had a great night's sleep. We had deer that just wandered into camp last night. That was really, really cool. 2 deer, 50 feet from us. They just hung out, ate some grass, let us get some pictures and video, and then they left. And then last night, during the night, some storms rolled in. Tiffany got some amazing photos or some amazing video of the lightning storm that was happening off to the south of us. Really, really cool stuff. So this morning we're loaded up, we're ready to go. And if the timing works out, and I believe it will, everything should allow us to be able to get to the Royal Gorge here by lunchtime and to Colorado Springs by the end of the day. We are leaving the Transamerica Trail to hit those 2 things, but if you're going to take the trip, you've got to decide what you do and do not leave the Transamerica Trail for. Those are 2 things that we want to leave the trail for. Those things that we definitely want to see. Just a few miles north of our campground, just before you reconnect with the Transamerica Trail, we found Bishop Castle, a cool and interesting landmark. We made a separate video about this place, so if you'd like to see that, we'll include a link in the description. But for now, we were focused on getting to the Royal Gorge.
Well, guys, like the first 10 miles of the trail today has been paved, moved along pretty quickly, and now we've moved on to a gravel section, and it's really, really pretty out here. We're enjoying the ride. The temperatures have been really good. The last few nights, temperatures have been in the mid 50s overnight. Last night we had the storm blow through, and we didn't really get any wind. We had a little bit of rain, but not much at all. But Tiffany got some amazing video of the lightning storm that was happening just south of us. That was really very, very cool. I'm glad she got that video.
I know, I just wanted to stay up all night and watch it, but my eyelids were going, no lady, you're sleeping.
That's right.
But it was like Zeus and Thor were having it out up there or something.
And it was, that video was like right outside of her window, her side of the tent. It was from the tent. Very cool.
Yeah, I was too chicken to get out and try to video.
My gosh, guys, this has just been breathtaking here for the last 5 minutes. We cut through the woods, went down the winding paths, then we got into an area where it began to break open more, and you could see the mountains and everything, and then it just broke open into a wide open valley here, and the mountains are just huge and they're spectacular. They're right there. And it's really kind of cool because the clouds are sitting right on top of the mountains today. So it's interesting. It's really, really cool. All right, so we stopped for gas and supplies in Westcliffe, Colorado. Now we're back on the Transamerica Trail. But while we were there, got some meat and cheese from the Amish deli. That was fantastic. That cheese was great. The bread Tiffany bought from them, really, really good. Got gas, got food, back on the trail. While we're there getting gas, this old fella comes up to me and says, "Hey, why did the cowboy want to buy a wiener dog?" I said, "Why?" He said, "So he could get along, little doggy." Tiffany said this would be a great place to let Boomer out of the bag so he could go to the bathroom. I don't think the current occupants could be too cool with this little barking dog. I think we'd better just leave him in peace. Gotta stay hydrated.
How do they get down there? Is there an internal trolley?
I don't know. Go all the way down there somehow to get on the train, but I don't know. There's got to be.
Your legs going, whoa.
Yeah. It's really, really windy today, so this suspension bridge is kind of doing one of these business. But it's a solid bridge. I mean, there's cars driving across it. But it's a little unnerving when you're up this high and it moves. Here's Oklahoma. So that was the Royal Gorge. We got to check it out. They had a really cool gondola. You get on it, it takes you to the other side. And on the other side, they've got a zip line. They've got a big swing type of a deal. And then you've got a walking bridge. So the plan was to do the gondola over to the other side, walk back across the walking bridge, then get on the gondola, go back over, climb the hill, get on the zip line, and do that type of stuff. But between the time it took us to come across the walking bridge and put Boomer in the kennel, they shut everything down. So we sat around for, I don't know, half an hour, and it's just not going to work. So we've been waiting now for the better part of an hour for them to reopen, and they're just evidently not going to. The winds have really been strong here today, and so really, really disappointing. Really wanted to do that, but better safe than sorry, right? If they shut it down because they don't feel like it's safe, you know, we got to trust their judgment in that. But oh my gosh, the disappointment. Oh, that's all right. We'll find better stuff down the road, right?
Join us next time as we move into Colorado Springs and visit Garden of the Gods and Pikes Peak. You're going to love this next episode.